This is The Great Expanse by John Bat 426 here on YouTube. It is always a pleasure to record these videos, to edit them, put my unique spin on them for your viewing pleasure. And you know the drill. You know what I mean? If you like these videos, share them. And it's comic book related. All right, you remember comic books? Those thinly, not quite magazines, but sort of small magazines that people used to just go ecstatic for before we got all these movies. You know what I mean? But as you can tell by the thumbnail that you've clicked on, or else you wouldn't be here, this is the recap with no cap, Captain America Brave New World review. Now, let me start out like this. Let's go back to the beginning. Now, Captain America was originally called New World Order. Now, when you hear the term New World Order, it's a lot more menacing. It's a lot more ominous, because it's like, wait a minute. So that means the present order is going to be overthrown, and a whole new way of doing things, a whole new government, maybe a one world government is coming in to take over. And the movie's called Captain America, so you're saying, so a one world government is going to take over America. You know what I mean? That's kind of the implications when you hear New World Order. So that name was changed from New World Order to Brave New World. Now that sounds a lot more optimistic. That sounds a lot more hopeful. Okay, it is a diversion from New World Order, Brave New World. Okay, which is also a very popular theme too, Brave New World. So it's not like you just made it up and just threw it up and said, "What a stick?" You know, that's a real thing, Brave New World. Originally, the actress that played Ruth Bat Seraph, okay, that was the actress's name. No, that was the character's name. Ruth Bat Seraph. She was originally supposed to be the mutant Sabra. And Sabra is a member of the Israeli Mossad. It's almost like the Secret Service, okay? Now, of course, with the Palestinian-Israeli conflict that's currently going on and has been going on for decades, Disney didn't want any part of that controversy. So they scrapped the Sabra character and just made her General Ross's intelligence consultant advisor. Guess what she does in the movie? Nothing! She doesn't. There's no reason for her to be in this movie. None! And, okay, I'm not body shaming, but her physique is ghastly. Ghastly. She has the body of a little girl. She looks like Gollum standing straight up. Like I'm gonna just be honest. Like, she looks like Gollum standing straight up. I don't know why this woman was in the movie. Should have given her mutant powers. You shouldn't have been afraid, Dixie, and just made her be Sabra. No reason for her to be in the movie at all. This movie would have been perfectly fine without her. So let's look at now. I usually just go in whatever direction the wind or the river takes me. So let's talk about what's great about this movie. Yes, what is great. Not Grate, like great, but great. They're great. Great. What's great about this movie? Anthony Mackie. I'm sort of eating my words a little bit because I said I didn't like him in this trailer. I did say that. I loved him in this movie. He played the role of Captain America fantastically, in my opinion. His acting was on point. The dynamic between him and Isaiah Bradley and Anthony Mackie, I'm not going to say they carried the movie, but all of their scenes are hidden. All right. Now, from the trailer, you could see that there's a little Manchurian Candidate action going on, obviously. And I didn't know that Isaiah Bradley was played by Carl Lumbly. Now, Carl Lumbly, he voiced Martian Manhunter in Justice League Unlimited. I did not know that was him. All right. So you see that a signal goes off when President Ross is giving President Ross is giving a speech in the White House, and then he kind of just becomes suddenly aggressive. Well, in the movie, it takes place just like it's portrayed in the trailer, and that's basically from a movie called Manchurian Candidate, starring the late Angela Lansbury and the late old Blue Eyes Frank Sinatra. And so by the time they see him jump out the window, he's unsuccessful, obviously, okay, because President Ross is turning into the Red Hulk. And when they catch him, he's like, "How'd I get here?" So they never used the term Manchurian Candidate. I thought somebody was going to mention Manchurian Candidate. But even when he's visiting Isaiah Bradley in prison, because obviously you're arrested if you're going to try to assassinate the president, just their dynamic, the acting between Anthony Mackie and Carl Lumbly is just so on point. It feels genuine. It feels organic. It feels like these two actors really know each other and have a rapport. I really like them. All right. Harrison Ford, he did not phone this in. I mean, his voice is still Harrison Ford. So sometimes you have to listen carefully to make sure you hear everything he's saying. His facial expressions don't necessarily make it any more legible. But anyway, Harrison Ford did a great job in his movie. I believed him. I believed that he was a man conflicted. How would you know he's conflicted? Because he turns into the Red Hulk in the trailer. Okay. So now that conflict is brought into the fray by Samuel Stearns, played by Tim Blake Nelson. He's reprising his role from 2008's, that one's called Incredible Hulk, yes, with Edward Norton as Bruce Banner and Liv Tyler as Betty Ross. This movie, from the very beginning, the very first thing General Ross says is, "Did you get a hold of Betty?" or something like that. So they immediately tie in the Incredible Hulk movie from 2008. They immediately establish it as canon. Okay? They talk about Harlem repeatedly. They show footage of the Abomination fighting Edward Norton's Hulk. So it's canon. Okay, not that kind of canon. So Tim Blake Nelson reprises his role. Tim Blake Nelson is behind the scenes, sort of orchestrating every encounter. Like, for instance, Giancarlo Esposito, who is kind of not needed in this movie. His character was needed, but not an actor with the gravitas of Giancarlo Esposito. You could have gotten some B-level actor to do it. I feel like he was just basically there to sell the movie. Hey, I'm in it. I mean, and he turns the charm on as Giancarlo Esposito later on because he's sent to go on some clandestine, like, covert action because he's the leader of Serpent instead of the Serpent Society. He's Sidewinder. Serpent Society is a group of Captain America villains that are reptile themed. But he didn't have anything reptile about him resembling him at all, except the name Sidewinder. So he steals something from this place in Mexico, all right, that's like protected by the government. And it turns out to be adamantium. Now, they bring adamantium into the fray because of, let's go back to the movie Eternals, when Tiamat, the Celestial, was being birthed out of the planet. Somehow the top of his head and his hand came out without fracturing the planet. Have you ever seen a chicken emerge from an egg? Have you ever seen any creature emerge from an egg and the egg be totally intact and half his bill is out or half his wing is out? No! But guess what? It's a comic book movie. So we're going to suspend disbelief. Already suspended. I don't even know what I'm talking about now. So they tie in Eternals. They tie in Edward Norton's Incredible Hulk into this movie. So unfortunately, you would have to have seen both movies to know the origins of these things. So that's a point off. I believe when you go to the cinema, you should be able to watch a movie from beginning to end without having to reference other movies. I'm sorry, I'm just of that mindset. I believe a combined universe is good for TV because you can have a TV series. I believe it's good for comic books, but it should not be thrusted in your face in movies because you're paying good money to watch those movies. That's just my take on it. But since I've seen Eternals and Incredible Hulk 2008, I know where they came from. All right. So now the crystallized form of Tiamat, all right, is where this Earth, I think this is Earth 616, gets adamantium, which I think is a great way to bring it in to this version of Earth because there's no adamantium there. And General Ross specifically said that it's more indestructible than vibranium, and that is true because adamantium in the comic books is the most indestructible metal in the fictional universe. That's what Wolverine's claws are made out of. All right, that's what his skeleton is laced with. So there's intrigue going on. There's a lot of suspense. It's like who was behind Isaiah Bradley's attack on General Ross. It's like what's going on with the adamantium, with the remains of the Tiamat, the Celestial. So there are a couple of things going on in this movie, but the constant is Anthony Mackie's acting. I really appreciate his acting. I like his interactions with Harrison Ford. I love his interactions with, I don't even know what the actress's name, Agent Taylor. I thought she was decent. I thought she really behaved like the Secret Service for the president. I didn't think she was cheesy. That line is still in the movie, unfortunately. Since when were they read? No reaction in theaters. None. It shouldn't have been in the movie. Nobody said, that was funny. Or boo. No reaction. So it was pointless to be in this movie. I heard from another source, okay? And I usually like to avoid reactions until I've seen the movie so I can come in with fresh ideas. But unfortunately, my ideas have been sullied. All right? But they said that this movie felt like a high-end Netflix movie. So while I'm watching it, that is unfortunately in the back of my mind. And now I'm critiquing the movie. I'm not critiquing the characters or the lore. I'm critiquing the movie itself. It seems as if certain scenes transition to other scenes kind of quickly without letting the full scene breathe, if that makes sense. Now, does it take away from the movie? No, but I'm just critiquing the actual movie making process. Some resolutions are kind of quick. Some stuff is not allowed to breathe. The other characters come in as plot devices. It's like, okay, Captain America, you need this done? Sure, I'll help you. You know what I mean? So it's like, we don't know why. We don't know who these people are. It's just, oh, this is his contact from the military. Okay, sure, he was in the military. So I can understand why the person would say that it seems like a high-end Netflix movie because some stuff is not allowed to breathe. Okay? But guess what? It does not take away from the movie. The Red Hulk was incredible. The Red Hulk looked incredible. All right? Unfortunately, Captain America solos the Red Hulk. He solos the Red Hulk. Okay? Now, did he defeat the Red Hulk? He got the Red Hulk to stand down. But what you see in the trailer is basically how it plays out in the movie. He's avoiding the Red Hulk. He's actually playing a little Archangel, from Warren Worthington III. He's like throwing those vibranium like feathers of his wings into the Red Hulk, which I guess could work. All right. So at one point, he literally impales him with the wing, okay? And at the same time, he releases the kinetic energy from his adamantium wings. The adamantium... I'm sorry, not adamantium, even though adamantium is a focal point of the movie, but vibranium wings. So it absorbs all the kinetic energy. Like, the Red Hulk is punching down on the wings, and it releases it at the same time as he stabs him. So there is sort of a stalemate between them. And basically, you could say that Captain America kind of soloed the Red Hulk there. Now, of course, afterwards, when the Red Hulk emerged, Captain America was like, all right, I can't do nothing. So he talks him down, and he brings up Betty, okay? And he talked about, General Ross talked about how he and Betty used to take these walks in D.C. What's it called, Hampton? Whatever, it's a part of Washington, D.C. where these cherry blossoms are. So he talks the Red Hulk down. There's a cherry blossom that is floating, and he catches it in his big red mitt and looks at it, and he reverts back to Harrison Ford, all right, General Ross. And of course, General Ross is locked up. Samuel Stearns is locked up after his plan went awry, okay? In the raft, the same place where William Hurt's General Ross had Anthony Mackie's character in Civil War, all right? But for a grade, I'm going to give Captain America Brave New World a solid, B. B, okay? That's a good grade, all right? Will this be the beginning of the Anthony Mackie-led Captain America trilogy? Could be. Will I be interested in it? Yes, because Anthony Mackie is the best part of this movie. I really liked Harrison Ford. I loved Isaiah Bradley. I also liked the young actor Danny Ramirez, I think it was his name, who played Joaquin Torres, the other Falcon. I think this movie could have done without him too, though, to be honest with you. Just to be honest with you. And as far as cameo goes, Liv Tyler comes in at the end, Betty Ross, and Sebastian Stan comes in to give a pep talk to his buddy. What's his name? Sam Wilson. I'm about to say Anthony Mackie, but Sam Wilson. Good cameos. I'm trying to think if the original script is evident and where the rewrites come in, if they're evident or not. I don't know if they are, though. All right. Post-credit scene, you can do without, because it's another reference to a multiverse that we have never seen in action except in spurts. We saw it in Loki. We saw it in WandaVision. We saw it in No Way Home, Spider-Man. We saw it in Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange, but nothing is ever solidified. There's just references. There's another reference in this post-credit scene. There are others from another world. We already know that. This post-credit scene was a waste. It's another blown opportunity to solidify the universes. All right? So again, B for Captain America Brave New World. I think you should check it out. See it for yourself. Come up with your own conclusions. And this has been the Recap with No Cap. John Babb, The Great Expanse, here on YouTube. Peace.